Apes Reborn! Anywho, folks, after we did the first 8 tutorial levels, we unlocked Sand Oasis, which is our first real level of the game. No more hand-holding. The only thing we could do is the first mission, which is just simple, head to the goal ring. Every time you level up, Sonic gets a new ability, and you can equip it to a special ring. You actually have 4 rings that you can custom equip with all sorts of different skills, so you can mix and match whichever type of rings that you want. But basically, this one has a customizable level up element to it, and I'm not sure if it's going to be for everybody.
First, let's find the King's Palace.
Yes, let's hurry.
Let the speed man. This game has a pretty fantastic soundtrack, I won't lie. I mean, this is a very different Sonic game. As you saw in Part 1, this is based off of basically 1001 Nights, the Arabian Tales adventure stories. If you're ever familiar with Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, Sinbad the Sailor, if you're familiar with Aladdin and the Magic Lamp, and I'm sure if you've seen the Disney movie Aladdin, you're familiar with it. That's basically what all of the elements of this game is going to be based off of. This is actually the first in what is going to be called the Storybook series for the Wii. And as far as of 2013, when I'm doing this LP, there are only 2 games in the series. There's this one and Sonic and the Black Knight. But, you know, it's Sonic as you've never seen him before. He's not fighting Dr. Eggman and his mechanical robots. He is fighting an evil genie known as Eraser Jin and his Krima Jin genie minion guys, right? And he's in the Arabian Nights. He's reliving the Arabian stories. And we're going to be seeing some familiar faces, but they're not going to be exactly as we remember them. So as I said before, this game is totally on the rails. I'm not moving left and right. He is constantly moving left and right on his own. I am changing the direction of which Sonic moves. Like, I am changing his positioning. Like, I can move to the right of that rail or to the left of that rail. But generally, I can't dive into the water, really. I can't go past that wall into those bushes. This is a very much on-the-rails thing. You're holding forward on the Wiimote, and in order to back up, you have to hold back on the Wiimote, which is basically just tilting it towards yourself. All completely motion-controlled. You want a homing attack? You have to fling the Wiimote forward. The only real buttons you're using right now is 1 to brake, which I don't do too much, and this 2 button to jump. And you can do like a light jump just by tapping it, or you can hold it and get a very long jump that, it's not that effective because sometimes the timing can be off, but you can always air dash in the middle of the sky by flicking the Wiimote to get a little bit more distance, you know. Sonic, I don't want to say he's super slow when he starts the game off, but he does get a lot, and I mean a lot faster when you level this guy up all the way. His max level can be level 99, and with every level up, again, he gets new abilities and new abilities and new abilities. So the more you play the game, the more Sonic will have possible to equip to his rings and the more stuff he can do. Rail grinding is terrible in Sonic and the Secret Rings. It is absolutely terrible. Easily the worst rail grinding you've ever seen in a Sonic game. For some reason, you can hop on the rail and it's fine, you know, but when you try to push the jump button, instead of jumping off the rail, he does a little spin. And I know if you mash the jump button, he might jump off it on that second time or the third time. But generally, if you push it once while on the rail, he does a little spin that gets him a little bit of speed on the grind. Sometimes they expect you to jump from rail to rail, and the only thing I know is that you have to flick the Wiimote in order to do that by flicking it either left or right, but I can never get the hang of that, and sometimes I overshoot and pass the rail that I was aiming for, or sometimes I go in the absolute opposite direction. It's ridiculous. I do love Secret Rings for the intense action that this game does deliver. I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised by some levels I forgot how awesome were. Because again, I don't really like this game. I hate the control scheme, and it's not something I ever really want to go back to. But in terms of like the action set pieces that are going on in the actual levels, I forgot how much of a badass level Pirate Storm is. We're going to be seeing Pirate Storm later, but man is that a badass level, and I love what they were able to do with the Wii. Again, this is a Nintendo Wii title. This is not an Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 title. I really like the fact that Sonic Team really went all the way they could with the graphics and the presentation on the Nintendo Wii. So few companies really utilized the Wii's horsepower, and now we're on the Wii U, so I think it's shameful, you know, it's shameful. But Sonic Team, they knew what to do with the Wii. They really did. We got Mini Turbo. It lets us move faster when we move at the right time. Anywho, story.
Where is he? Are we too late?
Huh?
What's Dr. Eggman doing here? Aha! I knew it! This is all another one of your schemes!
What is the meaning of this? I am Sharyar, king of this land.
Eggman, what are you up to this time?
Sonic, wait! You're making a mistake! This is him. This is King Sharyar.
Really?
Such insolence! Guards, seize this blue spiky thing at once!
Where are your men, Your Highness?
Oh, that's right. Let me explain. When the evil spirits appeared out of nowhere, everyone turned and ran, and I was stuck having to hide in that jar. No! Help me!
Well, well. Guess it's time for a little action.
Make Believe's Reborn! Every time you finish a level, they always kick you back to the main menu. And generally when you finish a level, it always tells you if you unlocked like a new mission, or maybe 2 or 3 new missions and stuff. And again, you can play this game in a completely wrong order. You can play optional missions that are not required to beat the game or to find any of the secret rings at all. And it's just like sort of time wasting and stuff. And I'm just basically doing the mandatory missions. I'm just doing the ones that will get me the secret rings and will get me to the end of the game. But again, here's the thing about all these different various missions. For every zone, there's like 15 or 20, and you're basically going through the same set pieces over and over and over again. Like, I already played through this level once already, but we've seen this hallway. We've seen that part where Sonic gets almost hit by those spiky things, and then he does a U-turn on the wall. You know, we saw that already, and we're probably going to see it again before this playthrough's over, because generally they have you playing through the level more than once in different scenarios. Right now I'm doing a Die Hard challenge. What's the stipulation of the Die Hard challenge? I can't die. If I die, it makes me restart the level. And that's pretty much it. Again, it's the second level in the game, very basic. I had to run slow up that hill because I tried pushing jump and stuff. It wouldn't let me do anything. But, yeah, that is the Die Hard challenge. Make Believe's Reborn! Keeps kicking you to the menu. By defeating that challenge, we got 2 unlocked missions in a completely random order. Like, you got 2 question marks in between the second mission and the one I unlocked. I don't know why, but in this mission, I cannot break any of the jars. If I break a jar, I have to restart the entire level all over again. In the first level, when we were doing just the get to the goal ring part, we were allowed to die, we were allowed to break jars, we were allowed to do basically whatever we want. This game doesn't actually have a live system. It's one of the only Sonic games I know of that doesn't have a live system. Basically, if you die, there's like a certain checkpoint, like a certain distance from where you were that it takes you back to, but you can die over and over and over and over again, and it never makes you restart the level unless it's like one of these missions. Because again, if I smash a jar, I have to go all the way back to the start. And, you know, that's never fun. You saw earlier I collected some red rings. I think this is the first game to have a red ring system, although in this game they're called Fire Souls, and they're not quite like the red rings you may know from Sonic Generations or Sonic 4 Episode 2 or whatever. But basically, Fire Souls are used to unlock certain unlockables in the game. Whether it's concept art in the extras menu, or it's extra playable characters for the Sonic Party mode. Extra playable characters like Shadow, Cream the Rabbit, Silver the Hedgehog, Blaze the Cat. There's a party mode, I've already mentioned this in part 1, that half of this game is the single-player adventure, and the other half is the multiplayer party mode. But you start off with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, but you can unlock Shadow, Cream, Silver, and Blaze by collecting all these fire souls. And that cannot be easy. If you want to get Silver and Blaze, you really gotta earn that shit.
Thank you. I thought I was done for.
Tails? What are you doing here, too?
Tails? My name is Alibaba.
Come on, Tails. I know it's you.
I'm very sorry. He seems to have mistaken you for someone else.
Oh, it's okay. I'm still very grateful that you saved me. I might not be very strong, but I've still got some tricks up my sleeve. If you ever need my help in return, it would be the least I could do to repay you.
Thank you. If something comes up, we'll be sure to call you.
So yes, again, it's based off of the Arabian Nights stories, and all of the familiar Sonic characters, aside from Sonic, are basically reprising a role from one of the characters in the books. Tails is taking the role of Ali Baba, and Ali Baba is from the story Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Basically, Ali Baba found hidden treasure that belonged to a group of evil thieves, and he discovered their secret hidden password to go and get it. An open sesame password, if you will. I would recommend, maybe looking up the Arabian Nights stories yourselves. I don't know how many people were encouraged to go and read them up after playing Sonic and the Secret Rings, but I hate grinding! Grinding is the worst in this fucking game. God damn it, it doesn't work! I'm telling you, I will move that Wiimote in the directions they want me to move it, and I just cannot get off it properly. I'm always running into shit when I have to grind. It's the worst thing. When the level design is fine and dandy, like the first level, it's fine and dandy. I don't hate this part. I'm not huge on motion controls, but Sand Oasis is not a ridiculous, oh man, this is the worst thing ever kind of level. As a first level, it's perfectly fine. It gets you used to the mechanics. It doesn't put you in any bullshit positions. It's a great first level, and at first, when I played this, I was like, Secret Rings isn't so bad. It's not so bad. I can't wait to see what the rest of this game has to offer. But I'm telling you that a lot of the later levels get really, really awful. And that's kind of why I didn't really have a positive experience with Secret Rings. If most of the levels were like Sand Oasis, and they were a lot more lenient, and they didn't have so many bad decisions, I think this game really could have been pretty good, pretty awesome if you want my honest opinion, but as it is, I don't think it's that spectacular. In this mission, I have to break 5 jars. I've been trying to cut out a lot of the load times and a lot of the going back to the menu parts, because those are always the most time-wasting, time-suck, boring parts. Again, every time you finish a level, it takes you back to the main menu so you can hear, "Make Believe's Reborn!" And then you choose your mission and all that stuff. A lot of them are optional, but I will be trying to guide you in the quickest way to get to the ending, the true ending of the game, by finding all the secret rings and stuff. Because again, that's part of the title, Sonic and the Secret Rings. We'll be seeing in Part 3 what the secret rings are, but, they're basically Chaos Emeralds. They may as well be. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, that is the final mission of Part 2, but, this is Sonic and the Secret Rings. So far, not so bad. It's not terrible, but, it gets worse. And we unlocked a new world, but we're not going to be going to it yet, because again, I'm looking for the secret rings, just, I figure I'd point that out. You can easily move on to the next world if you want, but you're not going to see the true ending unless you get everything that you need to get.